Hello students. So today we are going to see the concept of layered architecture in the subject of computer communication networks. The main reference book for my subject is Behrauz Ferrauzan, which is considered to be a Bible of this subject. Its title is Data Communication and Networking DCN. So when we say internet communication or computer networks, it is basically the journey from the time you type the URL till the time your web page is displayed. Your instruction passes through the 7 layers of the OSI model, and the journey of the message onto these 7 layers is nothing but the subject of CCN. Now, what are these layers? These layers in the bottom to top approach, as we will be seeing in the curriculum also, are the first layer is the physical layer, right at the bottom, followed by the data link layer, then you have the third layer is the network layer, followed by the transport layer, session layer. The sixth layer is the presentation layer, and the seventh and final layer is application layer. Now each layer has certain functions to perform. On an average, each layer has 5 to 6 functions to perform. So all in all, 35 to 40 functions are performed from the time the URL is typed till the time the web page is actually displayed on the screen. Although this happens in a fraction of a second, but at the back end, many multiple functions are going on simultaneously. And this is the story of the internet. To understand this concept better, we have the concept of data encapsulation. So if you see here, right at the left of your screen, you have the source user A, who has a data to send L7, that is layer 7 application layer. So when it passes on to the L6, that is the layer 6 presentation layer, it will attach its own header there. So that is the header of the presentation layer. After that, you will have the session layer, which will attach its header H5. This will go on to the transport layer with the TCP header. The TCP header is attached here. Then you have the network layer, wherein the IP header is attached. You must have commonly heard of these terms, TCP IP, TCP IP. So actually they are the H4 and H3 headers. Then it is taken on to the data link layer, wherein the data link layer header is going to be attached. For Wi-Fi, it is going to be the Wi-Fi header. For a wired LAN, it is going to be the Ethernet header. And the LAN address, the MAC address is also going to be attached here. IP address is going to be attached at the H3, and socket address, port address is going to be attached at the H4. Finally, at the physical layer, this entire header sequence is going to be converted into a stream of binary bits. From here, it is going to pass on through a physical medium. So the transmission medium can be either wired as in LAN cable, or coaxial cable, cable TV wire, or optical fiber, geo fiber, as you have commonly heard of. Or wireless, it can be wireless, can be radio wave or microwave, it can be Wi-Fi, it can be WiMAX, it can be infrared. And from that transmission medium, it will be passing and it will be reaching the destination through what we call as internet cloud. So let's say this destination is here on the right hand side. Just as encapsulation has happened on the left hand side, the decapsulation will happen on the right hand side. So the binary bit stream will be converted into a frame at the data link layer H2. Then it will be converted into an IP packet. Rather, the IP packet will be extracted. H2 will be stripped off. The IP address will be read and matched with its own. If it matches, it will proceed further. If it does not match, then a negative acknowledgement will be sent here. We assume that it matches here. So the TCP header will be extracted at H4. Then the session and presentation layer will extract their own information and finally present the processed data to the destination on the right hand side, which in this case is our computer B. So the transmission actually happens from A to B. It happens in the form of data encapsulation, vertical communication, and then data decapsulation back again. But it actually appears that A is talking to B in a peer-to-peer or horizontal communication fashion. So this is how exactly how information is transmitted across onto the internet cloud. Although the function of each layer is 5 to 6, as I mentioned earlier, but still we can summarize it in one line. So the physical layer is basically used to transmit binary bit stream over a wired or wireless medium. It provides mechanical and electrical specification. The data link layer will organize these bits into frames, Ethernet frames, HDLC frames, Wi-Fi frames, and so on. And it provides hop-to-hop delivery. It also attaches or detaches the LAN card or NIC card address that happens at the data link layer. Now at the network layer, the IP address and IP segmentation and reassembly takes place. IP is Internet Working Protocol. So it moves packets from source to destination, and it provides and facilitates internetworking. That is communication between two diverse networks. Now at the transport layer, it provides reliable process to process or end-to-end message delivery, error recovery in case there is any error. It will also append the port address, which is the application-based address, 16-bit port address. Then the session layer, it establishes, manages, and terminates sessions, introduces checkpoints at different instances. You must have probably seen your login session as expired. Please log in again. So this happens from the session layer. Now presentation layer is used for translation. In case you are making a call from your Android phone and the recipient is on an iPhone, so the different operating systems should not be a hindrance for communication. It should not become a barricade for communication. So this type of protocol translation happens at the presentation layer. Encryption and decryption happens here. And in case bulky data is transmitted, it needs to be compressed at the transmitting end, and then it needs to be decompressed at the receiving end. So this is also done at the presentation layer. Finally, the application layer, it will allow access to the network resources. The graphic user interface also is present at the application layer. For each application, we have at least one protocol. For example, for web browsing, you have the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP, or Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, HTTPS. For emailing, you have Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, SMTP. For remote login, you have the Telnet protocol. For network management, you have the Simple Network Management Protocol, SNM. So this is a journey of the data via the 7 layers of the OSI model. OSI, Open System Interconnect. More of these concepts we will be seeing at length in our class, which will happen very soon. Up till then, happy learning and thank you so much.